Hey everyone, I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I'm still making Go videos and doing all my Go lectures, although I didn't teach my class during the month of August. So I'm mainly just doing, lectures online and attending the US Go Congress, doing those sorts of things. But I've been playing lots of other games, and I thought over the next few weeks I'd share, just a handful of them with you. These are mostly just designed to be one-off sort of videos. I'm not really looking to do a series on any one of these games. But since the new Hearthstone expansion came out today, I thought I would start out with that. Maybe next week or the week after I'll do a Rocket League video, which me and Andrew Jackson have been having some fun playing. And then I've also been playing some Heroes of the Storm. So maybe, over the next, 1 or 2 months, you'll see these day off videos. These are very much inspired by Sean Plott, who's better known as Day 9. He really became well known on the internet for e-casting or esports casting games like StarCraft. But, he's been doing these pretty regular just day off videos where he goes and plays some other games. So anyway, let's talk about Hearthstone because, hey, that's the news of the day. The new expansion did come out, so we do have to go to the shop and buy some of it. So let's see, latest expansion. It's nice they put this little banner here to let you know. And there's a way to actually just type this in somehow. If I just want to buy the shift click, nope, I bought one. I do have a lot of gold saved up. I'm what's known as an infinite arena player in Hearthstone, which means that I average 7 or more wins on my arena runs. There's a way to do this. No, I don't want to start a conversation with a friend. I also don't want to buy these all individually. Okay, maybe I'll be right back after I buy them all. Or I can actually just tell you more about the game while I'm clicking. There's a faster way to do this. And I don't know what it is. If I just enter a number? Nope. Nope. Oh, so much fail. Okay, so anyway, Hearthstone, for those that don't know, is a collectible card game that's entirely digital. And, it's been out for, I guess, year and a half, 2 years? 2 years almost? Something like this? I don't quite remember. I started playing in April of last year, the previous year. And, I have spent some real money on the game, but as you can see, I don't really have to spend that much compared to a lot of other competitive players because I play mostly Arena. And if you are good at Arena, you will do well. You will, basically get all the gold you need to buy a pretty adequate number of packs and get most of the cards in the game. So I have bought the 2 adventure expansions though, and a few packs when GVG came out. This is the last big expansion. Anyway, I'm hoping to get about 60 packs of this new expansion. It's probably, actually we'll probably go more like 80. I don't know. We'll see how many times I click this button without realizing it, just to be annoying. Man, there is totally a way to do this more quickly. I feel really stupid for not knowing what it is. But I guess that's what I get for just playing Arena and not really actually buying packs all the time. Anyway, I do really like this game. I play a lot of it on the bus. I have a little mobile hotspot on my phone, so I took it up to my iPad and just play. I have no idea how many we've just bought. I should be keeping count. I guess when this gets to around 2,000, we'll probably quit there. I always like to have some gold just to, have in store for the next expansion, or if I do just feel like I want to go open some packs today. Some people do say this is the most fun part of Hearthstone. It's more fun than actually playing the game, is actually just buying the packs and opening them up. All right, so let's see what that gave us. 102 packs. That is right on the money. I did have some other packs that I've sort of left unopened. I do have all the cards in the basic set and almost all the cards in the GVG set. So these aren't really that exciting for me to open by myself. But we can open them together, I guess, and see what we got. In general, the Hearthstone, all right, that's a good start. Look at this. I already have a Sea Giant. Of course, I already have more of the Sea Giants than I need, but at this point, we're really looking for dust. We should be, so we have about 100 packs here. What we're really hoping to find are 5 legendary cards. That's the expected ratio. If we get more than 5, we'll be super excited. I think the ratio for epics is about 1 every 5 packs. We're hoping to see about 1 in 20 purples, or 20 purples out of the 100 packs, and we'll see, I don't know, probably like 130 to 140 of these blue cards. The white cards are pretty common. We don't really care about them in general. The other thing we're really looking for, especially out of these first 2 pack categories, is gold cards, because I can use those for dust and craft whatever cards I don't get. So actually I can do this fast with the space bar. And that was a terrible pack. But that's alright. You know, the base set does have a lot of cards in it. And, you know, once you've collected them, hey, there's our first gold card. Gold cards are also pretty cool because they have these, like, you know, animated sort of images on them, unlike the other cards. But, you know, gold common is actually worth 50 dust, which is a pretty good amount of dust for a common card. Hearthstone, there is no trading or anything. Again, the entire system is based on dust. If you ever have cards you don't want, you just sort of trade them in for dust. And you know, craft the cards you do want with that dust. Oh, there's our second epic, so that's pretty good. So that's number 2. It is a Murloc War Leader, which is not exciting, but again, there's not going to be very many epics, especially in this set, that are exciting for me because I have them all. The real excitement will get down to these purple packs that we just bought. That was a very unexciting pack. There's going to be a lot of those. That's how they get you. People just like opening packs, also pretty unexciting. For those of you who don't know anything about Hearthstone, this probably isn't that interesting. You should probably just go watch another video at this point. But for those of you who do know things about Hearthstone, I mean, I don't know, this can be kind of addictive, actually. I've watched a surprising number of people just open packs on stream. I do watch some of the more famous Hearthstone casters from time to time, like Kripparrian or Trump. Alright, so that was it for classic packs. We just got 2 epics out of those, which is basically par for the course. We didn't see any legendaries yet, though. So let's do some GVG. Like I said, I don't quite have all the GVG cards, so some of these I might be more excited about. We got a double rare, but not exciting. None of these cards are particularly that good. Another terrible pack. Oh, we got a gold card, though. Gold rare. So that's nice. Pick up. In general, I dust all of my golden cards, which I know is like, if you watch anybody on stream, something that is never done. But because you get so much more dust for them, and they just look cooler than the regular versions, if I have a regular version, I'll just dust the gold one, which is the complete opposite of Kripparrian. He's probably the most famous streamer here. That was a terrible pack. Alright, still no legendaries yet. Still no legendaries. I guess I should be using spacebar to open these up faster. It does do this little cool thing where you can mouse over the card, and if it has a good card underneath it, it'll actually kind of glow, which you can see this does not. Another terrible pack, but that card's actually, if you don't have any of these and you play Paladin, that's a pretty standard Paladin card for most of the rush and mid-range Paladin decks. Let's see if we can, there we go, see it says blue, see how it glows blue, isn't that cool? It's not that cool, I just kind of want to see what cards I get. Another non-good pack here. Ooh, there's a blue one, good start. But not a good pack, of course. This is a pretty good rogue card. This is actually made into priest decks. This is a standard for all mech decks. I mean, if you were playing Hearthstone and just starting out, like, this would actually be a pretty good pack just to build up some of your decks. But again, there's so few common cards in the GVG set that... Oh, we got our first epic in GVG. I already have, I think, 3 of these, so this doesn't really matter. But again, that's just dust. And we got an additional rare. And if you're building a mech deck, this deck was fantastic. Look, check out 4 mechs in here. Again, totally not interesting to people who have most of the cards. But what is cool is that because you have this dust system, if you want to play Hearthstone and play it, at least on the constructed ladder, relatively competitively, it's not that hard to just do that. Just to, you know, get a few packs. They do give you a bunch of free packs, you know, from time to time for doing various things. And just using that, dusting the cards you don't want and constructing the ones you do. You can get yourself actually a pretty good deck, you know, with maybe just after playing a week. Oh, second epic in GVG. Oh, and it's a golden epic. Nice. Alright, so that's worth 400 dust. Which is nice. We still have not seen a legendary. I'm really hoping actually all the legendaries we see today are in the purple packs, because I don't have any of them. And, but so far we are way under par for the course here. It's blue. Oh, we have a second rare, but nothing good. Alright. Alright, so that was terrible, in a word. But that's okay, here we go. Oh, they have a little animation here.
impressive jousting. Eye-popping
All right,
sideshows.
well, we'll do that.
And the
Wonder if he'll talk to us
combat you ever
throughout the rest. So actually, I should go through these a little bit more slowly because I haven't played with any of these cards. These all just came out today, like I said. And the thing about, I think most people are agreeing about this new set is that it's the best balanced set in Hearthstone, meaning that none of the cards are that terrible, but none of the cards are that amazing either. There are a few that people are looking for. I'm really hoping to see like a Varian today. I'd really like to get a Varian Ren, who's a 10 mana cost warrior card that's just simply amazing and can fit into a lot of warrior decks. But you know, this is you know, these are I don't know, nothing really here I guess I'm that excited about. Druid of the Saber is probably a playable card here, as is Undercity Valiant, but they're not amazing. So we'll move on. All right, we'll do this a little bit more thoroughly here. Oh, we got an epic, our first, the Grand Tournament epic, this new expansion. This is not a bad one to have. This might make its way into some fast priest decks. So deal 2 damage for 1 mana, but it gets double bonus from spell damage. That's cool, I'm glad to have it in my collection, but probably not going to use it in any decks right away. I don't really have any decks that are built around spell damage. Like a lot of these cards in these new expansions, you really have to build a deck around to make them worthwhile. Fallen Hero, it's a nice rare. Ooh, Golden Common, all right. This was turning out to be a nice pack so far. Nothing else good left, it looks like. This card looks okay, but not probably won't see actual play. This looks awesome, 5 mana, deal 8 damage, but it's basically an overcosted fireball. It's our second Fearsome Doomguard. We're probably going to see more of those. We can have the Fearsome Doomguard count. Is anyone counting purples? Is that 5 purples now, I think? Or 6? 5 or 6. We should see about 20, I think we said. Ooh. Alright, now this Druid card is actually probably one of the more unknown quantity cards. People have no idea how good this is. Gaining 10 mana crystals is amazing. Of course, you'll have no cards after you do it. So this is a pretty exciting Druid card, actually. And if I get another one, I'll certainly tinker around with this and see if we can build some decks around it and make it work. But yeah, I don't think anyone knows how good this is right now. It's a ridiculous card. It doesn't fit into any deck right now. You have to build specifically around this one card. So you really need at least 2 of them to make it work. This is another card that currently doesn't have a deck designed for it. And I think Blizzard's doing a really good job with designing cards that don't have decks around them yet, so people have to keep inventing new decks, because that's kind of the fun of a deck building game like this. But dealing 4 damage to a random enemy is, when you discard it from your hand, is kind of a weird ability. But Warlock has a lot of cards now that cause them to discard their own cards, so hopefully we'll see more of that. Looks like pretty awful pack in general. It's our 3rd Fearsome Doomguard. Alright, I think the Doomguard counts at 3. This card, if Inspire, there's a new mechanic called Inspire, which means whenever you use your hero power, something cool happens. And if this mechanic takes off, with which everyone, I think right now, including myself, is saying it's not, at least as far as a constructed format kind of mechanic, this will become a cool tech card. But other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot of interesting things going on here. This is just blatant power creep. Blizzard actually already has this exact card in the game, except it costs 1 mana more. But no one ever plays it, so they lowered the cost by 1, and now it's actually a pretty decent card. You know, it's certainly not OP or anything, but it's, if you put it in a deck, it wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to you. Another Warhorse, which is not too exciting, but we did get another golden card. And something that it seems like Blizzard is bringing back in this expansion is the idea of spell damage. Early on in the days in Hearthstone, before I started playing, apparently spell damage was really overpowered, especially in Druid decks. And they've sort of nerfed a lot of the spell damage cards. But now it seems to be that they're okay with that. So here we go. We got 2 Silent Knights in the same pack. Which is kind of a funny name for a card, but it works. Alright, come on, Legendary. We need a gold one, or another epic, so that's, hold on. I totally lost count. I should have, like, put a little tracker thing up on the screen so I could do this. I think that's 7? 6 or 7? Let's say it's 7. Let's just assume it's the higher number. We also got a rare 2. Also talk about this jousting mechanic a little bit. This is a new thing to this set. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, something good happens for you. It doesn't happen for your opponent. There's a lot of cards in this set that have this kind of mechanic. This is, I think, one of 2 Paladin ones. It's okay. I think the jousting mechanic is... Blizzard is trying to encourage people to put more high-cost cards in their decks. Blizzard wants to slow the game down. Because all you see on the ladder is aggro, 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 rush, rush kind of decks. Sea Reaver, this card is kind of ridiculous. When you draw it, it deals a damage to all of your own creatures. So 6 mana for a 6/7 with a drawback, quote-unquote, seems like a really bad idea. But there are just so many now cards in the warrior class that want damage dealt to themselves. So they get enraged, or draw cards, or gain attack value. There's so many good cards that do that, you know, I think that's what Blizzard is trying to emphasize here. Although, realistically, those decks that damage your own creatures are probably already made, and having it only go off whenever you draw your own creatures, or draw that card, is probably way too random. Cut Purse. This is a card that I'm really excited about. I think is a really cool design, although I don't know if it'll be competitive or not. Basically, whenever you attack the opponent, not a minion, but you have to attack the hero itself, you get a coin. You get a free mana in your hand, which is a pretty cool idea and lets you set up combos. Rogue is all about combos, right? So this lets you set up combos really easily. And... all right, come on, Legendary. We have yet to see... Still yet to see a Legendary card. This is not going well. Is that our... Oh, that's our first Master Jouster. This is probably one of the better jousting cards. If you have a slower deck, you can almost think of this as like a 5/6 taunt with Divine Shield for 6 mana. There already is a taunt with Divine Shield for 6 mana, but it's only a 4/5. So this is just absolutely better stats. You know, having 6 toughness is actually a pretty big difference compared to 5 at this point in the game. But you do have to win the joust for it. Okay. Still no legendaries. We got another Master Jouster. That's cool. So I have a pair of those. And, you know, some stuff. We've opened 31 packs now and still have yet to see a legendary card. When I did get my first set of packs for Goblins vs. Gnomes, the last big expansion, I did get more than my fair share of legendaries, so I guess the game is, you know, law of averages balancing out here. It also displays these little notifications down here when one of your friends that's on your friends list opens up a legendary card, which is kind of nice. It looks like Maldus is doing well down there, so that's good for him. Here's one of those Inspire cards. This is one of the Druid ones. It's also a Beast. They're really pushing Beast Druid. You know, they want Druids to run lots of Beasts for some reason, just, I guess, thematic reasons. Like a Druid is a friend of the Beasts, I guess. But give your hero +2 attack this turn whenever you use your hero power. So it's like you get a 3 attack hero for the turn. It's a decent card. I mean, this will be like a great card in Arena. Like, I'm really looking forward to playing this in Arena. I don't think it'll be that great in Constructed, but, you know, who knows? Maybe Inspire will be a thing. All right, here we go. This has got to have a legendary in it, right? Absolutely not. A second Argent Lance. And, all right, we're already 33 packs into this, and yet to open a single one. And what do we got here for the rare? The rare, this card, most people do not seem to be very keen on, but I've been experimenting trying to make an aggro priest deck for a while, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, at least right now. But this is pretty cool. I mean, it's an aggressive creature. It's a 4-mana 5/4 that's very aggressive and quite honestly not good by itself. But whenever you use your hero power, I think both players take 4 damage. Remember, Priest, when you use your hero power, you're healing 2 damage, so it's more like your opponent takes 4 damage and you take 2 damage is another way to think about it. That's pretty neat, quite honestly, and it might almost be good enough to get an aggro Priest deck to be a thing. I still don't think there's quite enough Priest cards that'll result, but I'm going to try it. That's one of the new archetypes that I want to play. Ooh, we did get a golden rare. The Totem Carver here, this is also one of the new archetypes. They're really trying to push totem decks. A lot of these tribes they want to develop because mech right now is really the only dominating tribe. Dragons was never really a thing for these tribal decks. But that's pretty cool. That if you're going to build a totem deck, this is kind of like one of the cards you need in it. So maybe that'll be a thing. And we have a golden version, which is cool. But still no legendaries. And what do we get here? Oh, Alex Strauss's Champion. So they're also pushing, like I said, these tribe decks. Again, if you're holding a dragon, so if you have a lot of dragons in your deck, one of the dragon tribes, it gets +1 attack and charge, which is amazing. So this is, I think this is one of the more looked forward to cards actually in the set. 3/3 charge for 2 mana effectively is great. This is fantastic. And warriors are slow enough that they can usually get away with playing dragons too. So I hope to see another one of these, and we can go, you know, we can go full out dragon warrior, man. That's pretty cool. So here, let's click and see what we got. We got another epic. Is that 8 or 9? Let's say it's 9. I'll make myself feel better about not getting any legendaries. This is a really cool card design. Probably not quite good enough. But 6 mana for a 3/5, where you pay 2 mana, you activate your hero power, you summon another 3/5. So it's like an 8 mana, 6/10 in terms of stats. If it's on the board for 1 turn, if it gets left on the board for another turn, of course, that keeps growing. And also, they're pushing pirate decks. And again, that's another one of the other tribes. You know, 3 mana for a 4/3 is pretty bleh, is okay. But if you have a pirate, it becomes a 5/4, and that's amazing. So, you know, pirates, man, pirates. Gotta get your pirates. Still no legendaries. But here's one of the most seemingly overpowered commons to come out in this set. I think this is my first one. 2 mana for a 3/4. You do have to pay an extra mana for it later. But this is just a fantastic turn 2 play where it just basically kills almost any other 2-drop with a few exceptions. So really, really strong 2-drop. And again, it's a totem, right? So you can do your totem shaman kind of thing. Convert. This card, I'm not sure how I feel about. I think, you know, I first looked at it, I thought this card just absolutely sucked. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, well, maybe that's playable, because then you're also learning what your opponent has in his or her hand. But, you know, realistically, this card isn't quite good enough. Oh, there's something else cool this card did that I didn't realize at first, that I then realized later, and now I've forgotten. There's some other advantage, really nice advantage, or subtle advantage of playing this card. But I don't remember what it is. So that's too bad. I guess we won't build a deck around it then. That's all. All right, we've opened, what is this, 38 packs and no legendary. Again, I think the official ratio, and Blizzard never really mentioned, but just from, you know, people opening thousands and thousands of packs, the expected ratio is about 1 in every 22. So we're doing pretty terribly. Injured Kvaldir. This is probably not going to see play, but if it does, it's going to be in a priest deck. 1 mana for a 2/4 is great, but however, dealing 3 damage to itself is not so great. But what's cool is you can play this on turn 1, get a 2/1. Your opponent might ping it off the board, and then on turn 2, you can actually resummon it using Resurrection and get a 2/4 right back for 2 mana. So, I don't know. It works. Oh, we did get a ball of spiders, which is kind of neat. They're also trying to make Hunter into a control class, which has not happened. This is one of the more Druid cards. It's more anticipated. While it's on the board, you have an extra mana, which is super sweet. But of course, when it dies, you lose it. So we'll see. We'll see if it's good enough. Druid's all about that fast mana generation. We did get another Spawn of Shadows, so hey, it looks like I'm going to be playing some aggro priest later on today, maybe. We can even put that together. Okay. Fallen Hero, that we already have one of those. It's not too exciting, but it's decent enough, you know. 4 mana, do 2 damage essentially is what the card should read. But if it stays on the board, hey, that's extra whatchamacallit, I guess value. 42nd pack. Still no legendaries. This is actually like a pretty brand new type of secret. I'm actually excited to see this secret because this seems like this will be put into a lot of hunter decks almost immediately. But this secret is neat because I think it's the only secret that doesn't trigger on your opponent's turn. It actually triggers on the start of your own turn, which is pretty interesting. And I don't think it's that good because, quite honestly, if you're going up against a paladin deck, you really don't want them to have a board ever. Paladins really benefit from being able to buff their own creatures on their own turn. And so if you're going up against, if you're playing Paladin and you're playing as someone who knows that they shouldn't leave minions on your board, then this is never going to be that useful. So we'll see. I think it's not a good card, but people seem to be really enamored of it. All right. All right, we got another purple one, so let's pretend that's 10. Oh, we got a second Alexander's Champion and a golden common here. So this is actually a pretty nice pack. I mean, considering I haven't gotten a legendary. Frost Giant, 10 mana, but every time you use your hero power, it costs 1 less, and that again triggers even if it's in your deck, not in your hand, which is cool. And again, this is probably the card in this pack I'm most excited about, though. Dragon Warrior is a thing. All right, this is our 44th pack, so we should have seen, 2 legendaries by now, just on average. Oh, and there's our first one. Wolfred Frizzlebag. Okay, not the one I wanted, but hey, there's a lot of legendaries, and I guess you gotta collect them all at some point, right? You don't have to. Oh, Maldus. We'll talk to him later. So this one is interesting. I don't think it's going to make it into any of the current Warlock decks, but Warlock is such a class that keeps mutating. There's so many good competitive decks for Warlock. I mean, there's still Zoo. Warlock even has a reasonably okay mech deck. Certainly Handlock is still around. Demon Lock is still here. So who knows? I mean, this card might be super playable in a whole bunch of them, quite honestly. We just don't know. And it's Warlock, again, is such a flexible class because it can just draw cards so easily. Yeah, so that's exciting. It only took us 44 packs to get our first legendary. Although, probably, again, the cards I'm actually more excited about in this pack are actually more like this Tuskar Totemic. You just get a free totem. Maldus keeps opening legendaries. Damn it, Maldus. Scan all my good cards. Actually, I think when he opened his Goblins vs. Gnome packs, he kind of got screwed a little bit. So, what goes around comes around? Karma? Something? I don't know. Anyway, summon any random totem. This is pretty cool whenever you play it. So, I mean, you get a little extra value right away. And if you're building a totem deck, that's an extra totem on the board. All right, so that's our first one. How many more can we get? Can we get it up to... We're supposed to get about 4 to 5 legendaries would be expected. And we're back to crap. Although, again, looks like we're building some totem decks. We're starting to see a lot of good totem cards right now. Healing Wave, this is a card that a lot of people are really excited about, and I'm not as excited about. But you have the opportunity to heal up to 14 life, which is pretty amazing, for only 3 mana. But again, remember, it's only an opportunity. But it does make a lot of more slower Shaman decks playable. Alright, still 1 legendary. Let's pretend we've opened 10 purples. Because that'll make me feel better. A 3rd Argent Lance. Totally don't need it. The rest of this is not terribly interesting. Unless I want to go Paladin Murloc, I guess. Because I think that was my 2nd or 3rd one of those. Oh, we got a gold Refreshment Vendor. And actually, so the Fencing Coachman actually is a pretty interesting card. Even though the card by itself sucks, 3 mana for 2/2, it lets you set up a bunch of Inspire combos for future turns, is the idea. So that's the really exciting part about it. This will be, if there is an Inspire deck, you can bet your bananas this will be part of it to set up those combos. Refreshment Vendor. This is a really interesting card. 4 mana for a 3/5 is meh, is kind of bad. But the ability to just refresh yourself for health immediately makes it interesting. It means this is actually playable. A lot of people used to play a card called Earthen Ring Farseer. It was a 3 mana 3/3, and it would heal yourself 3 health. This is 1 mana more for an extra 2 points of health. Heal yourself an extra health point at the disadvantage of also healing your opponent. And so this is actually, I think, a card that is going to surprise a lot of people. I think this card is actually better than it looks. Just because that, in the mid game, gaining that extra 4 health is actually a really big deal. All right, we got another. That's number 11. Let's pretend I'm actually keeping accurate count. Battlecry, give a friendly beast immune this turn. It's meh though. It's only if. I mean, you have to have a really aggressive, or I guess I shouldn't say aggressive. I should say fast but controlling. Board controlling hunter beast deck for this to actually be good. And I don't think that's a thing. Basically, hunter. I mean, the mid-range hunter that is kind of controlling is a thing, but it doesn't really need its beasts to be that immune, quite honestly. So there needs to be more beasts, basically, to get into the deck for this to work out. All right, actually, I really need to get some tea because I'm really thirsty here. So I'm just going to pause it just for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. There we go. Whew. Opening packs is very tiring. Oh my god, is that my 4th Argent Lance? That's ridiculous. Again, most of the time, maybe that'll change in a Tavern Brawl someday, but most of the time you're limited to 2 cards of each type in a deck. This is actually a pretty interesting common card that actually will see some play. 3 mana for 2/1 Charge and Divine Shield is actually quite good. I don't think people realize how strong that is yet. I'm also trying to make Taunt Warrior a thing. 2 mana, get all your taunt minions +2/+2. That might be good enough to actually play. Alright, 50 packs down. Here we go. Pack number 51. Alright, number 12. My 2nd Arcane Blast and then a 5th Argent Lance for some ungodly reason. That's a lot of Argent Lances. And I don't even think it's that great of a card either, Very, very limited play. Oh, here's the other Jousting Paladin card, though. If you win the joust, you restore 7 health. So yeah, that one is actually pretty playable. All right, we're seeing 12 purples, 1 orange. Orange is legendary, by the way. Oh, we got a golden rare. Of course, it's that kind of. I think it's gonna be kind of a crappy secret that mentioned, but we did get a 2nd Fencing Coach, so that'll be good for Inspire decks. Another Cut Purse, and a 2nd Totem Golem, so that's cool. I'll want one of those. Living Roots, I think this card is actually pretty decent. Aggro Druid isn't really a thing, doesn't need to be a thing. But certainly this is such a cheap card, and it's so flexible that, it's going to see some play somewhere. I don't know what type of deck exactly, because it doesn't really fit into the normal Druid combo decks or the normal Ramp Druid decks, but it's such a flexible card, I can't imagine that won't be played somewhere. 47 packs to go. This card, most people agree, is terrible, but 2 mana for 2/4 is so good, right? So maybe you buff it, maybe you silence it, I don't know. So yeah, not a great pack here. Again, if I want to play Murloc Paladin, I can do that now. Although actually, Seal of Champions, this card will actually see play in some aggro decks, and I have an aggro Paladin deck that could stick that in right away and have it be really strong, actually. A 3rd Fencing Coach. Don't need a 3rd Fencing Coach. Alright, carry on. Still need to see some legendaries here. Got double rare, no, a 3rd or 4th Fallen Hero. Power Shot's actually decent. Again, this is sort of like a control hunter card. We got a 2nd Living Roots. So, you know, if you're playing Control Hunter, that will probably be a pretty normal card, but otherwise, probably not. Another one of those Tusker Jousters, so that's good. That's alright. Oh, Maldus got, I think that was his second missed collar. So apparently, like, he's getting legendaries, but his legendaries he's been getting have been kind of terrible. Also damages the minions next to whoever he attacks. I don't know how good this one is. Number 13. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. 3 health is a little low. It can get taken off the board with a single spell so easily. We have a third Jouster, which we don't need. But I think that's, what, 13 purples? 14 purples? Let's just say 13. That probably feels more right at this point. Another healing wave, so we got 2 of those, that's good. And I think that's only my second bear trap, so that's good as well. Even though it's only a common. And the thing is, we'll end up with so many duplicates of the common cards because they are common, and there are not that many of them. Another ball of spiders. So that's cool. I think that's my second one. I like this card. I don't think it's going to be played very much, but I like it a lot. Because web spinners, whenever they die, they give you another beast. So it's like you summon a bunch of spiders, and then they all die, and then like the beasts, you know, come forth from the forest or something. Yep, Maldus is having a rough day. Another Murloc Paladin, alright. Sparring Partner. This card, if Taunt Warrior becomes a thing, this is a good card for it. I mean, it's great, right? 3/2 Taunt for 2 mana is very strong by itself. Or at least strong enough, let's say that. But then giving something else Taunt is very good. Oh, we also got on one of those Beast Druid Inspire things that I think I now have 2 of. Again, that's a card I was much more excited about in Arena than in Constructed. A third Healing Wave, so we don't need that. But we do have a golden Polymorph Boar. This card is strange, but is probably going to see a lot of play. You can use it to attack something, then polymorph your own creature, and then do 4 more damage with it, because it has the charge ability. You can basically nerf one of your opponent's really big minions. You know, your opponent gets out something, you know, just humongous you can't deal with, like Tyrion, for instance. Well, here, make it go away. Make it a 4/2 boar that you can kill with 1 ping and a damage from something else. It's a really flexible card. It'll fit into a lot of decks. It's not overpowered at all, though. Like, it's really only decent. You know, it's really not even that strong of a card, but the flexibility will help the mage class, I think, quite a bit. I guess not that mage needs more help. Another Murloc Knight. All right. And a Saboteur. We've already seen one of those. You probably don't play a second one ever in any deck. Ever. Unless everyone and their mother is playing an Inspire deck. Number 14. This is an interesting card, and this will see some play. Anything that basically, you know, nukes an entire board will probably see some sort of play. Especially, you know, in a classic Paladin, you have to kind of work to make this work, though. It doesn't really fit the class well, because Paladin generally likes to have a bunch of creatures on the board. But in those cases where you don't, you only have 1, this is great. You can, you know, kill 2, 3, 4 of your opponent's creatures if they're running any sort of, you know, rush deck or aggro deck. Another Murloc Knight. Mogre's Champion. This card is terrible. Don't ever play this. We did get one of the Rogue Pirates that is actually kind of good. It's actually much better than I think people think it is. That's what I should say. I should have pointed that out. A 4th Healing Wave. Great. And a Golden Lance Carrier. That is along with a non-Golden Lance Carrier. Good job, Blizzard. These are very poor packs. And let's say epic number 15. The Kodo Rider, so we have 2 of those now. We also get a King's Defender, which is, again, possibly playable in a taunt deck, but probably just a worse version of Fiery War Axe, so probably not. Not too exciting. Is this 16? This card is interesting. There's nothing like it in the game. Oh, Malus got another one. Actually, that was a good one. So, you know, buffing creatures with spell damage, or getting buffs because you have creatures with spell damage. Again, not a thing that we've seen ever. Probably not a thing, but, you know, if Blizzard feels like spell damage isn't overpowered anymore and starts incorporating a lot more spell damage cards, you know, maybe. This card is ridiculous. 4 mana for a 1/8, restore 2 health to your hero every time you inspire. I mean, it's a cool card. It's not going to see play, but it's a neat card. Just so much, you know, basically your opponent wants to kill it, so prevent you from healing up, but they have to do 8 damage to it, so it's sort of like a 4 mana gain. We'll say 8 health, do maybe 2 damage, kind of thing. It's a strange card. Yeah. Priest Dragon. If you're rolling Dragon, gain 1/1 attack and taunt. 2/4 taunt for 2 mana is fantastic. And Priest's already starting to play some dragons, so this might actually see play and be one of the standard Priest cards if dragons if that becomes one of the standard dragon classes. Burgle, I think it's my first Burgle, and I don't think this is any good. I mean, it's a fun card. Just look at the picture. Look how fun it is. But it's not any good. I mean, maybe it's worth taking in constructed, or in arena not constructed, but another Fearsome Dune Guard. We haven't seen one in a while. I think that's a 3rd Ball of Spiders. I think that's only our 2nd refreshment vendor, though. We just got another Tournament Medic. 30 packs to go. We've only seen 1 legendary. It's our 3rd one of those. Not exciting in that pack. Ooh, 16? Is that 16 or 17? Neat. Alright, so Golden Grand Crusader. I actually don't remember thinking about this card very much in the pre-release stuff, so maybe I missed it somehow, but add a random Paladin card to your hand. That's decent. That's decent. That might actually get some play in some of the slower Paladin decks, especially like the Jousting ones. Quite possible. And we have another Saboteur, another Totem Golem, totally not necessary. Alright. 29 packs. We've only seen 1 legendary. Let's say that's number 17. Whenever you play a card with Battle Cry, gain +1/+1. Decent. I mean, it's balanced. Let's just say it's balanced. Not probably going to get too much value out of this. 4 health really isn't quite enough to just play it on turn 4 and expect it to live. But, it's alright. I guess I'm not excited about it. That's probably what I should say. Oh, let's say that's number 18. Oh, a 2nd Astral Communion. That's cool. So we can actually legit try that thing out. This is seen as one of the worst cards in the game, at least in the set. You give a demon +3/+3 for 2 mana, which is fantastic. But then you give your opponent a free mana crystal for the rest of the game. So it's sort of like not worth it. But, oh, there's our 2nd legendary, Ice Owl, which is probably one of the more fun legendaries. I don't know if this has a home in any deck. But 9 mana for a 10/10 charge, which is amazing, right? Hunter already has a card like this, right? It's 9 mana for an 8/8 charge, but you can't use this to ever hurt the enemy, which is weird. But I guess that's value. I mean, 9 mana for 10/10 is good value, especially when it has a special ability like this. This is a really valuable special ability on a creature like this. But yeah, strange card. It'll probably find a home somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Certainly, if you're playing Arena, this is a fantastic card. But you don't need to own it to play Arena, of course. Another Jouster. We don't need any more of those. That's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Golden Flash Heal. That's all right. That's cool. Void Crusher. people have been speculating about this card, and the general consensus, I think, is that it's not good. But, you know, the thing is, you can, what's that imp card? Makes a bunch of demon imps. I mean, if you play that in the turn before, and then you play this, you know, it may have a home, but I don't think it'll see play. I don't think any of these cards will see normal play, with the possible exception of Spellslinger in some weird mage decks that, or maybe not even that weird, but just you know, combo spell decks and mage. But Frigid Snowball, you know, hey, this could be a card someday. Maybe it even goes back into Druid and buffs up those swipes. Like, 'cause one damage in Druid, one spell damage in Druid is a lot. Oh my god, is that number 6 on the Argent Lances? That's fantastic. I think that's only my second Seal of Champions, though, which I would want to stick in my Paladin deck right away. Takes damage, also that Mount Tier Hero. Okay. I haven't actually thought a lot about this card. I think this is the first one I've seen, too, in this pack opening. It's interesting. That's an interesting card. I haven't thought about it enough. Maybe that's actually a thing. Just completely suicidal Warlock. Hey, you never know. 2 mana 4/3 is really aggressive. Those aggro Warlock decks. Power Shot, I think that's my second one of those. That's nice to see. If I ever really want to build a control hunter deck, I've got the Power Shots to do it. That's actually, Power Shot's a much better card in Arena than it is in Constructed, though. Poison Blade. Yeah, this is a pretty meh kind of card. I think that's number 18, though, on the purples. Hero Power gives +1 attack. Not really strong enough. I think it's my 5th healing wave now. I've just hit a huge string of those. Not too exciting. I think it's my 3rd or 4th Armored Warhorse, so not so great. Second Wrathguard, though. And 2 Clockwork Knights. And another Sparring Partner. I think that's my second one of those, so I'm happy to see that. That's an okay rare. Be much happier, of course, if it was a legendary. We've got about 20 packs left here. We really should expect to see at least one more legendary. But, again, it's not been going very well today. Another healing wave. We're getting to a lot of duplicates. That's a lot of healing waves. So, another healing wave. Of course it is. At the end, we can go look at the collection and actually count and see how many things we have. A second Fist of Draxus, so if I ever do get a Warlock discard deck going, that's useful. But nothing else too terribly interesting here. And again, we should have seen almost 5 legendaries in this pack opening today. Really disappointed we've only seen 2 so far. Golden Jormonger, that's cool. Effigy, this is a mage card that will probably see immediate play. It's just a pretty cool secret. And Mad Scientist is still so strong. Mage could always use another strong secret to capitalize on it. Nope, don't need more of those. Terrible card. Already have enough of those. I think I have enough of those too. I don't know if I have 2 of these yet, but again, this is Druid, the Beast thing in Druid. It's, I mean, it's playable if you have a Beast deck, but nothing really you want to build a deck around. I think it's my 3rd one of those. Not interesting. Another epic. What is that, 19? Let's pretend it's 19. This is actually probably one of the better dragons. We also got a Golden Fallen Hero, so that's cool. That's just dust for me. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and taunt. Why is this important? Well, normally there is a 3/6 taunt in the game. It normally costs 5 mana. So this costs only 4 mana. It is also a dragon, so it combos with other dragons, and that's the other really cool thing about it. It's not so much that you're just getting the 3/6 taunt in a probably going to be a slow deck since it's a dragon. Dragons are inherently slow minions, but it's also a dragon itself, so it sets up other combos. So that's I'd really like to see one more of those, and then maybe Warrior Dragon becomes real. Although it would really become real if we also had a Varian Wren, which we have not opened. I'm very disappointed. More balls of spiders. The card is so hilarious. And yep, another terrible rare. I have two of those. I now have two of those terrible rares. Again, another Warlock discarding card. When you discard a card, gain +1/+1. Potentially playable. Another rare of this card is interesting. I think it's better than most people realize, but it's still not. I don't think there's a home for it yet. You have to play this in a deck where you're going up against a lot of 3/2 minions, and you know there's a lot of 3/2 minions in this class. I mean, look right here, right? Although I guess technically this is probably going to be played more like a 3/3. But it's going up against a lot of 3/2s, which this whole expansion introduces. This is actually a really good card because you can get a lot of value from it. But it's so slow that if the meta is still very fast and aggressive, it's not fast enough. It's actually a drawback. That's a 4th or a 5th fencing coach. Just don't need that. 8 packs left. And more balls of spiders. We did get a golden common. We have a lot of medics now. Alright, that was not exciting. Just really want some legendaries. Alright, oh, there we go. Alright, so let's look at the epic first. This is, I think, the number 20. Your hero power becomes deal 2 damage. This is a pretty hilarious card. A lot of people commented about this, like on Reddit and stuff. How it's a, it upgrades the Shaman class, but it does it so slowly. You have to hit this thing. You have to spend 4 mana and then hit 4 things with it before it actually transforms. That it's not playable. But it's a cool card, so maybe. This card, again, it's a pirate. 4/6 charge for each pirate. But it gets a discount for each pirate you have. So if you are playing a pirate deck, and let's be honest, if you're playing pirates, you're playing rogue. So this might as well be a rogue card. This is basically a must include. So yeah, well, you might be able to see how good rogue pirate is. I think I'm still missing a couple of the key rogue pirate cards from the set, though I did not pull in these packs yet. All right, so that's cool. That's my 3rd legendary. So we are way under our average here. And another freaking Argent Lance. Is that 7? I have no idea. Another one of these things which is not good. Not a good pack. Certainly at this point. Golden Refreshment Vendor. And another fist, not needed. Gold's always nice, but totally not necessary. Alright, so it looks like 2 rares. See those first. Again, whenever you summon the beast, reduce the cost of this card by 1. This would be great if this actually triggered while it was still in your deck before you actually drew it into your hand. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm pretty sure in order to get this cost reduced, it needs to be in your hand. So because of that, this kind of sucks. And another Saboteur, which we totally don't need. 2 packs left. And anything? Double rare? I think that's my 2nd one of those. And this card is just, I don't know why this card's in here. Battlecry, Silence a Demon. There's actually a Warlock card, which I was really hoping to get, which I totally did not, at least thus far. It's basically a permanent 1/1 on the board that can't die. And the only way to kill it is to silence it. So this is kind of, a really class-specific techie counter that's really not that good, but I don't know, that's a strange card. To have a card that just silences a demon, that's such a weird thing, because the only class that really plays demons is you know, Warlock, and that's only 1 out of 9 classes. Alright, this was another terrible pack here. So, here, let's buy 3 more packs. Let's see if we can just fish for another legendary. And, if I can get at least 4 legendaries, I'll be happy. I can feel satiated. My amount of legendary opening. We did get, I think, was exactly 20 purples. We can count here in a moment. Make sure a Golden King's Defender, again, probably not that good. We did get an effigy, a second effigy though, so that's useful. All right, come on, legendary. Another epic, 21 out of 105 packs. It has a second charged hammer. Great. Another ball of spiders too. More balls of spiders. Spider balls all day long. Hey, we actually exceeded the average in epics. Yeah, this is not a good one though. 6 mana to copy your opponent's hero power. Yeah, a little weak. A little weak. Alright, let's go back to the shop. 3 more. 3 more. Again, this is the most fun part of Hearthstone. Just opening the damn packs. Actually, I kind of disagree with that, but it's probably the most, you know, I don't know, it's certainly an event. It is an exciting part of Hearthstone. Oh, let's see. Nope. I already have all these. Great. And more balls of spiders. Spider balls all around. Well, damn it. Yep. That's terrible. Alright, 3 more. I don't think I'm gonna go below 1,000. This has gotta be it. It's gotta happen here. Oh, here we go. Final 3. Another epic. It says 22. Lock and load. This is one of the cooler epics that I think people don't know how good it's gonna be. I did get to play. I mean, they did a Tavern Brawl this past week where I think there was 2 of these in the Hunter deck in the Tavern Brawl, so I did get to play with it in that sort of format, and it was fun. I mean, it almost never gave me exactly what I needed. You know, it never really won me a game, you know, by itself, but you know, it did something cool and did contribute. So sure, not a card I want to see. All right, this is it. I'm done buying after this, so it's got to be in here. You can mouse over the card slowly. This is not looking very good. Nope. 4 commons. And a polymorph boar. Alright, I guess it's my second polymorph boar, so could have been worse. Here, let's look at the collection. And we can go over here and say, just look at Grand Tournament cards, and everything's gonna looks new in it. The problem is with all this new stuff, it hovers over the number of cards I have. So I do get 4 of these Savage Combatants. 7 Brave Archer, actually 8 if you count the gold one. And here, let's actually just dust this right now. So this is what you do, just disenchant. And it goes, I have 50 more dust. So I'm sitting on 2,000 dust right now, actually. I also have 15,000 dust. Most of this I had actually before the pack opening today. So when I disenchant my extra cards, I'll go up to like 17,000 dust, so I can get a lot of the new legendaries with that I need to play certain of these decks. We did get 7 spider balls. That's great. And actually, the thing we should be doing is leaving on crafting mode so we can see what cards we missed. I didn't get a single Wrangler. I missed Mulch. That's too bad, because that's actually a pretty neat little. It fixes the worst part with Druid as a class is it has a hard time dealing with like single individual large minions, and this just mulches it. It just gets rid of it for you for 3 mana. Let's see. We did get, yep, exactly 2 polymorph boars. Oh, we can disenchant this one. Okay, Paladin. We can definitely just mulch this one right now. I do like the little blurbs here. Competitive spirit. Competition can be an inspiration to improve oneself or kill all the competitors. Yeah. Sure. Some of them are fun. We have over 9 Murloc Knights. That's great. Let's see. Priest here. Oh, we can get rid of this one. I know you guys are who do play Hearthstone and are trying to collect golden cards are just yelling at me like, no, don't dust all the gold stuff, but I just don't care. Just don't care. Do we have 2 of those shadow pans? We sure we have 8. I think we can dust this one. So I do want to find out how many healing. I did get 8 healing waves. That's amazing. Any other rares I would have gotten more of? There's one of my legendaries right there. Only 7. We only ended up with 7 Doom Guards. I guess that could have been worse at the rate we were going. This is dust. And this is actually a card I really wanted to find today. 10 mana, 7/7, battle cry, draw 3 cards. Any minions you draw, you put them right into play. So much value. We have a lot of these. Yeah, 4 dust. We end up with 5 fencing coaches. That's entirely too many. 6 saboteurs. That's terrible. You're dust. You are dust. Basically, what did I just dust? I didn't even realize what I just dusted. I thought it was one of these. Maybe I had 2. Did I have 2 golden refreshment vendors? Neat. We're gonna keep that because that's my only one. Yes, the Jormonger. You are dust to me. We get 2 of those kobolds. So here's the pirate. That's cool. And that's it. So altogether, we opened 111 packs. Got 3 legendaries, and I think here. Let's actually do the official count. If I just count epics, I think we got 22 epics. Here, if we start here, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, miscounted by 2. So 111 packs, 20 epics, one of them was golden, and 3 legendaries. That's pretty terrible. I really hope that if you guys play Hearthstone, you have much better luck than this, because this is definitely below the curve here by a good margin. I do hope that at the same time, maybe this inspired you to not go buy a bunch of packs. This got your fix for opening packs for the day, and you don't need to go spend a whole bunch of money and you know, blow it on a game like this. I mean, I love this game. This is a great game, but you know, save your money. The set's pretty small. You just play Arena. It won't take you that long to collect all the cards you really need. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this day off video. We'll do another one at some point. I will be posting my top 10 board games of all time video for updated for this year pretty soon. Look forward to that, and then I'll be going back to Go videos very soon this week as well. So yeah, thanks for watching.